My hope is that this book will be for folks that have found themselves in similar life experiences as myself. So, grew up in pretty conservative faith circles, grew up in the South. And so a lot of my, let's say from college age until now, a lot of my life has been spent wrestling with topics and themes and questions about faith, doubts, etc., that were not always welcome in the spaces where I, formed essentially my youth, my childhood. And not necessarily, I don't think, in like deeply traumatic ways, but just things that did not seem to gel with the core aspects of, essentially, if you want to boil it down as Jesus did, the two commandments: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbors as yourself. And it's that, particularly that second one, where it feels like a lot of what I was raised with, not necessarily from my parents, but the communities around us that we were in, there was a big disconnect with that second commandment. And so from a theological standpoint, I think that's my hope, that there are folks who might have grown up in similar circumstances and then maybe encountered music and art that really opened up their worldview and the lens of appreciation of the human experience, the brokenness that we all bring with us. I think that's who I hope, at least initially, this connects with, is that we're not alone in those experiences, that there's a lot of community to be found through music scenes, through art scenes. I think that's probably, for me, that feels like the most immediate connection. And then beyond that, there's when it comes to noise rock specifically as a genre, there's not a whole lot of formal writing out there about it. There are chapters in certain books where it's a piece of a bigger picture, or you'll see kind of like Noise Rock 101 not tutorials, but sort of primers online, and it goes through a similar trajectory of some early iconic albums that then shaped the genre. But there's nothing that's sort of collected a bigger picture in I hate saying formal, but basically just in a little bit more formalized way. In the way that we have, I mean, there's scores of books that have been written about punk, about metal, country. I mean, you name the genre, I feel like a lot of them have been well documented. And so that was another sort of goal of this book, is like, maybe I can lay a little bit of a foundation, albeit a brief and truncated one, but something that then gives other scholars, other students, other music fans an opportunity to then build on it. Because I very much see this as just a starting point. Like, it's not meant to be exhaustive. It's not meant to lay out the whole history. And it purposely narrows down to mostly U.S. noise rock bands. There's a whole ecosystem of incredible noise rock bands throughout the rest of the world, and I really want to. That's for another time, another book, potentially another project. But that's the hope there, is that this gives folks that want to dive into it a working base to then build on.